Hey everyone. In this video, I want to talk to you about why you shouldn't give up on love just because things didn't work out with one person or maybe even a few people. I see people fall into this mentality of thinking that love isn't for them just because things didn't work out with a few people. And this mentality pains me because I know that love is a really important part of people finding happiness. Finding somebody else who you can deeply connect with on that rare level and being able to stay with them through thick and thin and basically find a life partner is a huge part of being happy, because us humans, relationships are important to us. We are, in a way, kind of like pack animals. It's really hard to get through life alone. So when I see people give up on love just because of one or two or three or however many bad people, or just people who weren't ready to love them, it makes me sad. So I want to talk to you about why you shouldn't let this affect you, or at least how you should shift your mentality regarding this. So when things don't work out with one person or a few people, instead of thinking that everybody else is like these people and giving up on love, try to realize that all of these people are individuals. So what I mean is that things didn't work out with one individual, or maybe two, or maybe three, or maybe more, but they're all individuals. Things could work out with somebody over there or somebody over there. You never know. All you truly know when things don't work out with one person is that that one person isn't compatible with you. That's it. That's the only amount of evidence you have going forward. You should not immediately use one person or even a few people to extrapolate that everyone suddenly is bad for you, because that's simply not true. Quite often, the problem we have here, where we feel like giving up on love because we keep finding people who are bad for us, the true problem, the root here, is actually our standards. We need to raise our standards, because if you're at that point where you feel like giving up on love because of the partners that you keep attracting, then guess what? Unfortunately, you are the problem here. You're choosing these people. So instead, raise your standards. Start practicing self-love and knowing your worth and loving and accepting who you are. When you do that, you're not going to tolerate people who are bad for you. And when you don't tolerate people who are bad for you, you're not going to give up on love, because the people who are bad for you are the ones who make you want to give up on it. Also, there will be some cases where you fall in love with somebody who originally is good for you, but then it turns out later on maybe they end up being bad for you, or maybe they just go in a separate life direction that pulls them away from you. Maybe their goals are different, or maybe they just, for whatever reason, lose their own love for you. And that's okay. That also happens. And these situations are obviously quite a bit harder to handle, because that is a situation where you get such tremendous heartbreak that it will kind of make you want to give up on love, because you won't want to risk that heartbreak going forward. And in those situations, yet again, I urge you to practice self-love so that you can heal. Because instead of thinking about how horrible it was that things ended with that person, think about how awesome it was that you were able to create something like that with them, that you were able to find that connection with them, that you were able to even connect that deeply with them in the first place, that you were able to create awesome memories together. That's what you should focus on. Don't focus on the fact that it ended up ending, because as we all know, most things in life will end up ending at some point. Most relationships, all of them, in fact, are destined to end at some point. It's just for the really good relationships, that ending usually comes at, unfortunately, the cost of one of the two partners' lives, but at least in that case, it weathered the test of time. And the only thing that caused it to end is just something we can't control. But for everything else, just cherish those memories and realize that you were able to create that connection with somebody, because you were a part of it. So don't think it was all just them. Relationships are 50-50, so that means you played a role in creating that incredible connection as well. So focus on that. Don't focus on the loss. Focus on how you can, going forward, do that same thing with someone else. You'll be able to find someone who you can connect that deeply with. You've already done it before, so surely you can do it again. So that's what you should focus on. That's how you should shift your mentality. Do not give up on love. Doing so is a recipe for sadness and maybe even depression. It's a recipe for a lonely life, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So practice self-love, get yourself to heal, raise your standards, and start pursuing those incredible deep connections with new people. Don't give up on love. Anyway, I hope this video helped you, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Arrivederci!